Your margins aren't dying because of your formula or that your product is too expensive. You are bleeding out in terms of shipping. Leaks, returns, oversized boxes, wrong service. Every mistake is money you'll never see again. Every mistake is literally money dropping out of your bank account. Now, I had a founder, a student that I helped, and she was paying $12 to ship a $20 serum, and it leaked. Now, I had another founder who shipped the same style of serum, oil serum, right? And she paid $4 to $6 and had no zero leaks and kept the customer for life. In the next 12 to 15 minutes, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give you my cheapest shipping rate, how to ship playbook, the easiest thing that you need to do in order to learn how to ship leak proof, packaging, stacking, labeling basics so you can stop losing money and really focus on start scaling. And if you don't have 12 minutes to give me to learn this stuff, I promise you your business is not going to be where it wants to. You see, because I teach from experience, I teach because I've been through these things. I teach because I've had orders that cost almost as much as my product and the shipping cost. And I had to ship this out and make a decision whether I want to lose this customer or lose some money. So I'm going to give you all the steps, all the tips, all the tricks, all the ideas that you need in order to be successful at this. And first things first, the silent mistake costing beauty brands thousands of dollars is the shipping, is the rates, it's the distance, it's the fact that you have to ship stuff multiple times. You see, where I see the most leakage happening or the most leakage occurring is one, is going to be your boxes are too big. You're shipping in too big of a box for what the product is that you need to ship. So you have dimensional weight charges that are unnecessary. You're filling it up, you're doing all this other stuff, and it's just costing you too much money. The next thing is going to be loose caps. This is the biggest one that I see the most. This is ones that I really, it doesn't take a lot of work. Loose cap equals seepage. Seepage equals a sticky mess. A sticky mess might not get delivered at your customers. And God forbids if it does, because now your customers have a complaint and a first bad experience when it comes to your brand. So the last thing that you want to do is have sticky, leaky containers, leaky jars, anything like that that is getting in the way of you making money, you shipping a product, you doing anything like that. Now, big waste of money, big waste of time, a leak, anything that you want to call it, are going to be those cute mailers. Those cutesy mailers, those little mailers with your logo on it, the little mailers with your colors, the ones that you want to tell everybody that you spent all this money on. Why are you ordering mailers from overseas when you don't even have the budget? Do you understand how much that costs for custom mailers? Let alone the fact that you have to pay shipping and now tariffs? Like you can literally go to a company like You Pack and Ship, which is right here in the US, and have kind of they have so many different colors and designs of mailers that you don't even have to worry about what mailer to get because you will find one that fits your brand. So, cute mailers, make sure they offer protection. Make sure that they can protect your products from crushed jars. Think about it like this. I ship out in plastic jars and I ship out on glass. If it's glass, we wrap it in bubble and then put it in our mailers and everything else. But the plastics you won't think would pop, especially if we had a screw-on cap and all this other stuff. But in terms of shipping, the shipping companies don't care about us. I'm just gonna put it out there. What they will do is they will take your whole box, your whole package, and throw it at the bottom of a cart and stack hundreds of pounds of weight on top of it, and it can crush your jars, making a mess, causing you to have to refund, causing you to have to pay for more shipping. You are losing money in shipping. And here's the thing that you have to know: shipping is a system. It's not a joke. It's not vibes. It's just not something we haphazardly do. It's something that we have to be mindful of, something that we have to put effort in, something that we have to think about, something that we have to really pay attention to. So, Here's the stack that fixed that. Here's what you need to know in order to fix 80% of your issues this week, in order to get your business off the ground and make real money. Now, when shipping is done right, this is going to raise your average order value. This reduces your refunds. It's going to speed up the process, and it's going to get you repeat orders. And those are all very important things. One thing that we have to pay attention to and focus on is one, no leaks. Two, lowest legal rate. Three, clear labels that make sure there's no confusion. Now let's go ahead and build that MVP shipping stack. Let me show you guys the things that we need to do and how you actually do this, because these are going to be important things. Now, let's start with the easiest, simplest mistake to fix, and that's going to be our packaging. Packaging wise, you want to get a primary seal. There are lots of different types. You can get the pressure seals. So what these do is a lot of caps will come with them built in. They're already in the cap. You squeeze it down as the pressure seals around the bottle. The seal is now adheres to the bottle and won't come off. And these are the kind that I like because of speed of use. Now we can get the induction seal, which, and I gotta use a prop, my coconut water. Induction seal goes underneath the cap. You screw the cap on. You sit it on this machine and you put something on the cap, and it inducts and seals it. This is probably one of the best seals that you will get. Have I ever had one leak? I don't actually think so. I've had pressure seals leak because they pop them, and I've had them melt. But I've never had an induction seal leak. Now, let me just say this. Pressure seals are what we use because of time, speed, and fast. Leak guards. Leak guards or poly bags are heat sealed bag units, and they don't cost that much. And just in case you do have a leak, it contains a spill with inside the packaging to make sure you don't damage the rest of the products. The next thing I want you guys to do is think about is the cushion or the padding. Wrap each unit in bubble or honeycomb and aim for about a 2-inch protection on all sides. And that's a little high, but that just, especially if you're shipping glass. Let me rephrase that. If you're shipping glass, that's what you should do. And not necessarily 2 inches thick, but just a good two wraparounds of that, and you'll be fine. Now, when it comes to your cushioning, we tend to use a lot more of the shredded paper, the shredded color paper, and that works really well. So depending on what direction you're going with, depending on what you want, I would definitely say look into shredded paper, look into, just something that gives you a really good condition. If you are shipping boxes, you could do the little air ones, and you could buy that where it fills up the little air pillow or the air cushion, and those work really well. They just don't look the best. Now, let's talk about your outer packaging, which is going to be your congregated boxes. I almost said convoluted. Congregated boxes or your rigid mailers for solid. Um, when it comes to that, every company has this metric in which they measure your boxes. Let me break it down because how my FedEx rep explained it so I can beat the system. He says when FedEx scans your boxes, they scan the inside dimension. So whatever their inside dimension is, they scan that. So I was like, yo, I have 6 by 9 by 10 boxes. He's like, let me do some math. And he did the math, and it looks like, according to our stuff, when we do it and your packages go through, is beating the system, even though they're charging it as an envelope and you're shipping the box because of the internal size. Don't ask me how it works. This is how he broke it down to me, and this is how we've been shipping it from that day since. But if you go to a larger box, it flags it, and it will change your price point automatically to affect the news cost. So one thing I would say is find a good rep, find a good shipping rep. When it comes to your congregated boxes, go to UPack and Ship, or it's called UPack and Ship, or you can go to Uline. You can go to a lot of companies, Amazon. I try to stick away from the just plain white ones. I do like a little flair to mine. And so when we ship out ours, since we're Pure Tropics, we ship them out with like the banana leaves or the tropical inspired or fill ones, and we find that to work really well. So those are just some things that you can think of, some things to consider. Really nice ways in order to shine for your customers. A next thing that I would say would be helpful, and this really just depends on your packaging and your style of packaging, is orientation. You can get stickers that say this side up. You can get stickers that say caution or, don't shake or whatever. Do be careful. Some of these stickers will cause your packaging or shipping to be a higher point just due to the extra handling and care that has to go in there. So before I say worry too much about orientation or the stickers, I would say make sure that when you ship, that you're shipping in a good box and you have padding on the inside. And this will just help prevent you from having to do like a drop or tilt test where you got to drop boxes for 3 to 4. And I do recommend this, and we do. You don't understand how many times I've shipped a box to myself just to see how beat up it gets, to make sure that my packaging works, because I would rather ship it to myself than my own customers. So you can ship to yourself, test it out. You can do a drop test, drop it from 3 to 4 feet off a corner, throw the box around, beat it up, see if your stuff leaks, and you should be fine. Now, another aspect of this is going to be your shipping labels. This is where I really see a lot of people mess up, because you're putting, and I don't want to say cheap because cheap is not the word, but you're not putting quality labels on your boxes, and they tend to fall off and your packaging gets lost. Rare, but happens. So do make sure that you get quality paper. Don't just go with the cheapest, thinnest thing. You want to make sure that when you do print, you have clear addresses, the correct service, it's scan friendly, no glare, no gloss. If you do put, what is it, clear packing tape over it, that gloss, that gloss tends to mess something with the barcode for whatever reason. And this is just 100% experience I'm telling you about. And so you don't want to put clear tape over the barcode. Around it, yes. Over it, no. The next would be your product label. When it comes to your product label, you do want to pay attention to it, and you don't want to just use any type of paper when you print and do your labels. A lot of times I see that a lot of people will do their product labels, and they will print it out because they don't have the budget, or they'll go get those Avery papers, but they're not waterproof, oil-proof, soap-proof. And if something leaks, your package arrives fully damaged with a messed up label. So do pay attention to that. Add your directions and warnings to your labels. Add that, but focus on a great label. As a matter of fact, in the course, we have this label vendor who I use, and they're out of Hong Kong. You get your packaging and your labels within 10 business days. I get 1,000 store quality commercial grade labels for around $100, which is dirt cheap. I also get the boxes. So, there are a lot of vendors and resources that have high quality work for low prices that does it. Based off of when I was using US based company, I was spending like $500 for 1,000 labels. And I thought I was winning, but it comes down to margins. 10 cents versus 50 cents. I'm saving 40 cents every time I order from that vendor and supplier, even if I have to pay shipping and tariffs. I'm still heads above my price point. So something like that really works. Now, specialty items such as alcohol-based mist, perfumes, anything like that, do be mindful that there are rules for shipping those internationally. And those rules and those things, those precautions do add up and do cost. As well as the fact that anything alcohol based, and I say base because sometimes we might put a little alcohol in a product that we're making, but anything alcohol based must be shipped ground. They cannot be shipped on an airplane or anything due to fire hazard warnings, anything like that. So be mindful of that. And if you do ship them via air, they charge a different price. So they will ask about what type of products that you are shipping. Are they alcohol? Are they frozen? Do they need this? Are they heat treated? They will ask. So do be mindful of something like that. Now, let's talk about our rate strategy, and it's really going to be cheapest legit options. So small and heavy items, if they're under a pound, I do recommend going with the USPS Postal Service, just the regular standard mail. It will save you a lot of money. So anything under a pound, economy, if they didn't pay for FedEx or something like that, ship the post office. Anything over a pound, and I have to throw this caveat in here. I led FedEx, UPS, and DHL on a string of dates, meaning they had to take me out to lunch because they want my business and they seen how many packages I was shipping, and they were trying to all get me. One thing that I would say is FedEx really came out in my area, because every area is different. FedEx really came out with the best rates and best prices and best plan for me, and so that's why I went. The rep went above and beyond. He would show up with food for my employees. Cheap McDonald's, but it matters. Um, oh, took me out to a Wimbledon game one time. So, right. But when it comes to all of this stuff, it really makes a difference and it really matters. So anything over a pound, we were shipping with FedEx one rate special. Now, one rate special is not something that you're necessarily going to hear about. This is something that you have to find a rep. And if you do find a rep, the rep will set you up with. So I can ship anything in the United States, continental United States. Hawaii and Alaska doesn't count. For anything under, let me get it right. Anything in the United States under a certain weight, I can ship it with 2-day express shipping via FedEx one rate special for $7. So I think it's 7.50. And so I'm shipping, which is way cheaper than priority ground with the post office. On top of the fact that the post office year rates have been going up almost every few months. So do be mindful, rate just be mindful of the cost. Be mindful that you can negotiate. You could negotiate with anyone but the post office. Matter of fact, if you're not even shipping out $100,000 at least a month, you're not even gonna have a rep with the post office, and even then, your rep is still gonna be limited on what they could do. Whereas with FedEx or Post UPS or DHL, I can tell them to base my shipping rates off of my projected shipping, which they will gladly do to give you a lower rate, and it will be fine and good that way. So that is another thing that I recommend. So over a pound, FedEx, UPS, DHL. Now, another thing that is going to matter and another thing that really plays a part is international shipping. And that's where I find a lot of people have problems. That's where I find that there are issues. International shipping was the headache on its own for me and my company. We were shipping through the post office. It would take over 30 days to reach Canada. By then, we already had to refund somebody. Problems with packaging is just going missing. It's just a headache. DHL, we were having the same issues. Now, UPS, DHL, and FedEx have really great e-commerce programs for shipping international. And what they do, and one thing that you always have to have when you ship internationally is going to be tracking to the door. They have a lot of options and stuff like that in terms of lower price. But if you don't have tracking to the door, any customer can say, I didn't receive it and get a full refund from you because you don't have proof that they received it. So you always want to make sure that you get tracking to the door, and they have those programs. Now, internationally wise, I use a company called APC, and how this works is they're a shipping forwarder. So once a week, we ship a large box of all of our international shippings every Thursday to APC. They receive the packaging. They put it on an airplane going to that country the next day. Once they do that, the plane lands, those packages get delivered to the local post office, who does the last mile delivery, meaning they deliver it to the door. Best, cheapest way, I'm getting packages to Canada for $5 to $7 within 3 to 5 days. To the UK for $10, 3 to 5 days. And so it works a lot better in terms of our cost and speed. Now, there are countries like Dubai or Qatar or South Africa that orders my products a lot. And when they do order, the shipping cost goes through the roof. But you can either have your price point listed as two ways. You can, and there's no right or wrong way. Just because I do it one way does not mean it's the way for you. You can A, list it based off the actual live shipping costs on the site. Right. The pros on that is you as the business owner don't necessarily have to ever come out of pocket. Now, the way I do it is, and the cons of that is, and before I go on how I do it, the cons of that is your customers might put some stuff in in the cart and check out and get to the shipping. And because international shipping to where they're going is so high, it might make them change their mind. And so that's just something I'll throw in there. Now, another way to do it is the way I do it, and that's we charge a flat rate for US based shipping, a flat rate for FedEx shipping, and a flat rate for international shipping. This is a little harder. We pulled up all of our metrics from our shipping for all times and found the average cost for each. That way, if we have a high international shipment, around $27 to ship a package that someone paid $12 for, the cost difference is made up through all the shipments. So we average out the cost. That way, we never really lose. We more so break even, but it keeps a better balance on our customers on just the cost, overall shipping cost, so we don't chase them away. When it comes to sales, when it comes to marketing and making money, it's easier to have a small, simple, laid out type of thing that does not turn your customers away than it is to have a convoluted, confused whole shipping process set up. So go with the easiest, simplest way to make it as easy as possible for them to be able to ship. Now, here's the numbers that matter, the quick KPIs, the information that you need. Leak rate. If you want to determine our leak rate, you have to look at your damaged divided by your shipped, right? So your goal is to be under 0.5%. You really have no leak rates. That's a stupid, careless, pointless mistake that is going to cost you money. Now, to average out your label cost by weight bracket, you want to track by 0 to 8 ounces, 8 to 16 ounces, and 1 to 2 pounds. Most times, as a cosmetic company, our packaging and our products are going to be under that 1 pound rate. But if you break down your weight by bracket, so 0 to 8 ounces, 8 ounces to 16 ounces, 1 pound to 2 pounds, it just gives you a lot more rate, lot better rates that you can track, better opportunities, better stuff. And a lot of times when you do meet with any shipping company, they're going to ask what is the average rate that you or weight that comes when you ship. So in terms of shipping, if you're shipping 1,000 packages, how much is under a pound, how much is over a pound? That's how they look at it and structure it as well. Now, the next thing that I like to pay attention to is our dim weights. These are the rates that you are getting charged with and stuff like that. So percentage of orders charged by size, not by weight. And we want to be able to lower that cost if possible. And then I would say the last metric that really matters in terms of your shipping is going to be your refund slash reship rate. So how much is it going to cost you to ship it? How much is it going to cost you to refund for the inconvenience? How much is it going to be cost to ship out a new product? All of these are going to eat your profits up. So you want to keep those below 1%. And that's going to be a healthy line to which you can really measure your success. Here's what you guys got to remember. If you guys can't track your metrics and can't measure your metrics, then you can't fix it. If you can't fix it, you don't know where the holes are. And if you don't know where the holes are, we can't plug the gaps to which you're losing money. All right, makes sense? Now, if you want help with this, I want you to click the link below. We do have a shipping profit packet for you. This is going to help you in terms of figuring out your box size, it's a cheat sheet, leak proof, or anything like that. It's a simple checklist that's going to help you go to that next level. It has rate comparison calculators, all of that stuff. So if you're really interested in this and wanting help, go ahead and comment shipping below, and I'll go ahead and send that over to you to make sure that you have what you need in terms of building out your business. Now, what good would this be if I don't tell you steps to implement, if I don't give you tips and the help that you need in order to go to that next level? So here's our 7-day sprint. This is what I want you to do over the next 7 days. I want you to audit your top 5 SKUs, record the weight and best fit of the box size or whatever box it fits in the best. Day number 2, we're going to install seals. We're going to test them. Liners, induction, shrink bands, all of this stuff, even down to poly bags for liquids. Test them. Let's see how they work. Let's see which ones you prefer, how they look, which one sizes, what colors, what direction, what style that you can get. Day 3, we're going to go ahead and focus on sourcing the right size boxes. One small, one medium. We're going to do bubble and honeycomb. We're going to have 2-inch tape, all the shipping supplies that we need as a cohesive brand. Day 4, we're going to build shipping profiles. This is what you're going to do in your store. If you're using ShipStation, ShipEasy, ShipBob, anything like that, you are going to build shipping profiles in your store. So you're going to price by weight, by zone, or flat rate tiers. Day 5, we're going to run a dim weight test, DIM weight test. We're going to ship 3 dummy sizes. We're going to pay attention to the cost, and we're going to pick the winner. We just want to see the different costs that we have to go or deal with based off the dimension of our boxes versus the weight of our boxes. Day 6, I want you to do this. This is going to suck, so use ChatGPT to write it. It is going to be a damage SOP. Photos, Resend, refund rules. You're going to put a how to open, first use card in the box. Make it simple. This is so your customers know exactly how things are handled, how things are processed. You can list this on your website, make sure that you're good, and make sure that you have no problems as well. Day 7, we're going to do a 5 box drop slash tilt test. I want you to just beat up your box. Crazy. No, all right, we're not going to just beat up the box. What we're going to go ahead and do is put our box in our products in a box how we would ship it, and I want you to be rough as hell on it. I want you to throw it on the ground. I don't want you to jump on it. I want you to stack stuff on it. I just want you to ride around in it with it in your trunk if you have a whole bunch of stuff. Just want to see how your boxes hold up under a stress test, so we can make sure that when we invest time, effort, and energy into this, we can make money without losing it. Now, the biggest mistakes that I do see when it comes to shipping, the biggest problems that I do see is going to be your boxes are big, you're not having the right dimensions to fit the fees. So you can have a small product in a big box, meaning you're charged more by the dimension of the box, not by the weight of the box. So cut that out. Liquids without a secondary containment, meaning that it leaks and damages everything else in the box, and now you have to ship everything over. The simple fix is going to be better seals or a poly bag for each unit. That's just going to help to make sure that you don't have no leaks. Another mistake, huge one, this is one I touched on. When you tape up your barcodes, this is going to mess up the process of scanning it. Automatic, all this stuff, more rooms for errors and mistakes and packages getting lost. So fix labels. I want labels that last. I want smooth labels, and I want them to be visible. Another mistake would be no seals. Easy fix. Go get pressure seals. Order the caps with the P22 pressure leak seals already installed in them. Also, shrink bands, add those on, or you could do the induction or pressure liner. Last but not least is guessing your rates. Figure out your rates, figure out your costs, figure out all of that, because different carriers have different metrics that they do go off of. Have your rep get involved. If you do have one, reps are free. They're provided by these companies to help you. They have whole training programs, they have marketing teams that are designed to help you as an e-commerce business owner. So use those and those will help. Now, if you do want to make advanced savings, things to help you in terms of money, in terms of growth, you can bundle it up. So kits with fewer boxes. This is going to increase your average order value while decreasing your shipping price. You could do zone-based pricing, so you can do all of this in Shopify and price out your shipping rates and your zones based off of where they are. You can have pre-negotiated discounts with shipping companies. That way you can buy labels via your e-commerce platform or negotiated accounts. I know for a fact with FedEx and the post office, if you ship post office, you can get free shipping envelopes off of their website, especially if you're shipping priority and boxes. With FedEx, they can give you and I could speak of FedEx, so I had a FedEx rep, and I still have a FedEx account. FedEx will give you a free printer to print labels on. That will only work for FedEx. UPS and DHL does the same though. Free roll of papers to use for your printer. They will have FedEx boxes. That way, if you don't want to spend boxes on the little, custom ones or the cute ones, you can go with that. And they have a lot of different stuff that you can order for free. This just makes your business easier. This just makes it better. It just makes life so much easier that you can go and pre-negotiate it. You can keep life simple. And the last one would be pickup scheduling. Just schedule it out. We have our pickup every day, Monday through Thursday, between the times of 3 and 5. Actually, I adjusted to between the times of 1 and 3 because sometimes our FedEx truck don't show up on time, and I'm trying to leave work at 5. So, schedule your shipping, schedule your pickup times. That way, it just makes your life so much easier. And then things that I want you to do, and these are just David things. I want you to become a friend with the post office people. This sounds so crazy. Once they see you enough, like they'll know who you are, but become friends with them, give them free products. I kid you not, our local post office to this day, they still call and check on me. Them old ladies will come, hug me, give me a kiss on the cheek, tell me they love me, call me son, open the back door. You got all these people up front. I'm rolling in some gray sweatpants and a do-rag looking dirty because I've been making products all day. They opening up the back door, they open up the side door, let me just come behind the counter and I'm stacking and I might sit down at the desk and talk. I say this to say a little bit of kindness, a little sweetness goes a long way. I worked at nursing homes all my life and have aunties who I not treat people like that. I don't really care the skin color or who they are. If as long as they're kind, I'm kind back. And so when I come in there and I talk and I ask about their day, they start teaching me all the ways that I could get around the system in order to be more efficient. Anytime that they saw a product like a package or a leak or something, they stopped charging me for it. They would just ship it free, and they showed me all these different things. So you never know what the right friendship will lead to. One of the ladies quit, and to this day, she calls me son and she checks on me and she swings by my office and she takes me out to lunch. Miss Tammy, if you ever watch my YouTube videos, I love you. This is how you build relationships. My FedEx rep, he's not even my rep no more, but he's my rep, right? They moved him to Vegas and he still calls me and talks to me and hits me up. I seen him on Call of Duty the other day and trashed him. Ryan, yep, that happened to you. So when you are doing all of this, when you are looking, when you are building out your brand, when you are looking and seeing what you can do, these are the things that help, right? The pros don't play at the post office, they engineer their outcomes. We don't wait for something to happen. We make sure that we fix things. We fix the problems, we fix the leaks. We make sure that when we ship out stuff, that we ship out the right products. We don't have the wrong things going to the wrong places. We want to provide that experience for when the packages arrives. Our customers have the best overall experience in working with us. So, if you need help with this, if you want anything, listen, click the link below. I'm here to help you. Ask away. I'm here to help you build your business. I'm here to help you go to that next level. I want you to be successful, but you have to start implementing these things right now in order to do that. And if you need help going to that next level, if you need help scaling your business, if you need someone to help break down what you need to do with your business, what I need you to go ahead and do is I need you to click the link below. I need you to come and get this help. Let me take a look at your business from a top-down perspective, from a top-down view. Someone who's not stuck inside the storm and who has a 30,000 foot view of it, and let me see what we need to do to take you to that next level. Listen, building this business isn't hard, but there are things that we need to focus on and things that we need to pay attention to in order to be successful, in order to go to that next level, in order to grind, in order to grow. These are the type of things that we need to be on top of. These are the things, these are the metrics, these are the things that make us money. So focus on this and watch your success grow.